Hello, my friends. This is Andy coming to you from Yorba Linda, California, and I am preparing a video just to kind of give you a heads up and to be looking for it regarding SEL, CRT, and DEI, and all the other nonsense acronyms for things that are destroying the lives of children and parents and families. So I'll be putting that video together soon. And so I want to give you that update. But I just had to come on and create this video because I'm seeing so many amazing responses from my video about the teachers' unions. And most of them are very positive from community members and even teachers who said I'm glad somebody finally put out a video about the nonsense that our union is so corrupt and doing everything but supporting teachers and discussing things like education. And so those comments are awesome. Even more amazing are the comments from people that are part of the teachers union who watched the video but claim that they only watched a couple minutes of it because it was so hard to watch, and their discussion about what is so wrong about it. The deal is the reason it is unfortunately 45 minutes is that because I have to show you the proof. I have to show you my supporting evidence, being a law enforcement officer, detective, before we take any case to trial. We have to make sure that we have done our due diligence and made sure that we cover all of our bases and have all the evidence that we can possibly have to achieve a conviction. And so I make sure and have all those things in place. And so the tool or the lie, because they could do nothing but lie. I'm going to share some of that proof again about their lies. That they say, well, I didn't watch the whole thing. And so they can have some, I guess, excuse for not reading and seeing some of the stuff. So here's one of the posts. And again, there were a couple. It's always these same. And right now it looks like it's between 20 and 25 people in our community who just despise progress in PYUSD. They despise education. They despise the fact that Dr. Alex Chernis is doing an amazing job as a superintendent, saving the district millions of dollars so far, because at some point in the upcoming years, we're going to have to pay off this stupid loan that Carrie Buck created that's going to cost the district hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah, so we got a couple people that are saying, he's spending money that we can't afford. And it's like, are you kidding me? He's creating an opportunity for the community, the district to survive once Carrie Buck's bond measure comes through, and we then begin as a community have to begin paying that bond back. So enough about that. We'll talk about that later on. But we have this comment. I'm going to go to my screen here. And the Stephen Davison, obviously a union hack, which I think he actually mentions that somewhere in this post. But he writes, just listen to Andy Falco's latest rant. It wasn't a rant. It was mostly a documentary, I would like to say, about teachers. Nope, it was nothing about teachers, about the teachers union. So again, he starts off with a lie. My video was not about teachers. It was about the teachers union. Two completely different things. And their unions wanting to cut off kids' testicles. That is true. I showed you the proof, and if you would have watched the entire video, which I'm sure that he did, I show you the proof of exactly what it is they have supported with millions of dollars to get the measures passed. And promoting porn in schools. True. The books have been read at the school board meeting. The pornography has been read, and at the time, Superintendent Matthews said, "Stop reading it. That is horrible. You can't read such things in a school board meeting." But apparently they're okay to have in elementary school libraries. This guy is sick, really, and he is supported by Leandra. Oh, I don't know. I haven't asked Leandra if she supports me or not. I just do these videos anyway. He calls our retired teachers that we should revere union hacks. Well, some teachers may be revered, but not the ones that are attacking Leandra, Ryan Miller, and Maria, and stealing their signs and lying on a continuous basis. They are, in fact, union hacks. They are demonic and a cabal of evil. Yes, that is correct. Our current teachers apparently spend their time to get children secret abortions. That's not what I said. I said the teachers union gives them the tools, and there is a law in the state of California that allows for secret abortions. That is true. And again, I showed you the proof on that particular video with an attempt to get as many abortions as possible. No, they are busy grading papers, you jack off. That actually is my favorite part. And dealing with, dealing with discipline issues from your kids, attacking my kids. Thank you. What's your name again? Stephen. Stephen, they love attacking my kids. They know I have a lot of kids, and of course they don't hesitate in attacking my children, or canvassing to fix the damage done to education community they dedicated their professional lives to. Again, he's talking about teachers, which I mentioned nothing about teachers. I was talking about teachers union and the fact they're giving teachers tools and hoping that some of them will use them. Yes, 2 or 3 in each one of the schools, maybe even 1, have been caught using these tools. I could just manage the first 5 minutes in this rant. He somehow thinks this helps the candidates he supports. Not really considering the candidates necessarily. I'm just pointing out that you need to consider whether a candidate is supported by the teachers union, not whether or not the candidates are benefiting from my videos. It's 2 completely different things. He is nuts. They are nuts. And Leandra is the queen of nuts. Let's show them we don't want nuts on our school board anymore. Protect the great public education of your kids. Now, again, if Stephen, I think that's his name, Stephen, if you would have watched the entire video, you would see that the past administrations, the school board trustees, the hapless superintendents that were clearly incompetent, did nothing to help PYL-USD at the time. I showed you that our children were testing below average, and many of them, most of the kids in our school, were not achieving the grade that they were in. They were not achieving the grade level within their grade. So the many children that were, say, for instance, in 6th grade, were testing below the 6th grade level. I showed you the chart, and that chart was created by the superintendent you were saying is so beloved that was that left on her own. She wasn't fired. She left on her own and went to another school district. But that's what I was talking about. And I can go on. All of it's in the video. And so Stephen and other members of the community who are retired teachers, who are union hacks, who are part of the cabal, continue to lie to many of you who are in the school district. Now, I understand. There's many of you that I've read recently that say, I'm just so tired of the angry political posts. I'm so tired of the fighting back and forth. And I got to tell you, and I understand there's other people that say from both sides. I am promising you, I am guaranteeing you that what Leander Blades, Ryan Miller, Maria Stubbs, even myself, who is not running but clearly reporting what's happening in our community, are doing is that we are defending ourselves. Leander Blades is defending herself. She does not go up to doors and as she might have as a police officer serving a search warrant, kicking down the doors and yelling at the people inside, as people like Stephen and Esther Kim and Bonnie Conte and Miguel Lopez and who are the other people? Jason Kraft, and a number of people are trying to say that she's going door to door and harassing people and yelling at people. None of that is happening. There's nobody more pleasant to talk to than Leander Blades, even more so Maria Stubbs, and even more so Ryan Miller. What these few people, part of the cabal, and some of these hacks are doing is that they are creating so many lies, so many attacks on these people, that just because Leandra has to defend herself and say, that's not true, no, that's not true, no, I didn't do that, no, in the course of my duties as a police officer, I had to defend myself, no, I did not go to Washington, D.C. and lead the insurrection that never happened because nobody was ever arrested for insurrection. An insurrection never occurred. There was a number of people who got out of hand at Washington, D.C., but again, nobody was ever arrested for insurrection. Leander Blades happened to be in Washington, D.C. at the same time. So none of those things happen. What they do is they regurgitate old things, old incidents, and then create something non-existent out of them. And then these candidates have to. They must. if somebody attacked you, say you and the community member who appears to be or feels like you're just like exhausted from all the fighting, if somebody comes to your door and calls you a rapist, if you're a man, or maybe calls you a some other name as a woman, I'm trying to think, I don't know, an adulteress, and you're going, what are you talking about? You would be first put off by it, but if they continue to do it, at some point you're going to have to say, listen, why do you keep coming to my door and telling me that I'm an adulteress? Why do you keep coming to my door and telling me that I'm a rapist? I have no idea what it is you're talking about. At some point you're going to have to defend yourself, and I believe because this is the same nastiness that we're getting from these 15 to 20 people. Especially, again, I brought up her name earlier, is you got Esther Kim, who pulls Jim Bell out of the mothballs. He's been retired as a principal for over 10 years, over a decade. And he comes in as a so-called expert, and they create this video about, again, the very same thing, that there's a purge in the school district, that hundreds of teachers are being fired, that 25 administrators, principals and vice principals have been fired, all of which is not true. Jim Bell he has no clue what's going on. He then speaks about CRT, which he has no understanding of, obviously, because he brings up such nonsense in the video. I created a video, and it became so long and so convoluted. It was almost, I felt like I was giving it too much credit, giving him too much credit, that I just decided not to publish the video. It was too long. It was focusing on Jim Bell, which he, again, is this long ago retired principal that was only at one school, never worked in the school district, and is just simply repeating information that he's been given by the teachers union. He's irrelevant. He is not, it's nonsense what they said in this video. Esther Bell, who happens to be the neighbor of Leandra Blades, there's something seriously going on with her, and I wish I could tell you more, but there is serious problems because she's going on Yorba Linda Moms, because I see the screenshots. She's sending texts out about just some crazy nonsense about Leandra, and goes on and on and on, and then claims, well, I'm too busy to respond to anybody who responded. So I'm not sure what's happening with Esther Kim, but somebody seriously needs to talk to her and tell her to calm down. And then you have all these women. I brought them up before, and Patricia Hanzo, and I know I used to know the names of all these other women, but this is at a time when they spearheaded a protest at Esperanza High School and had these signs because a purge, they claimed, of Esperanza High School was occurring, and that it says we need a school bond that supports public education. Is that what that says? I can't even read it. Keep principals here. We stand with students, teachers, and public educators. And goes on and on and on about nonsense, and we're successful in getting the children at that school to come out and join them in a protest of something that did not happen. Now, the principal was walked out by administration because of something that he did that was not. There's an investigation going on. So he was walked out, and he's walked out for a reason. I know he's walked out for a reason because they would not do that unless they had to do it. So these women, whoever they're all union hacks. They're all either retired teachers or just misguided women who have no idea what it is they're talking about and speaking out of their feet. Almost using other words. Patricia Hanzo has been walked out of the school board meetings because she just gets so crazy that she won't shut up, and the police have to escort her out because she loses her mind. You have these women. You got there's Patricia Hanzo on the left. You got Danelle, whatever you ever say her name, Botley, and her husband. You got Gail Pogue, Sonia D, Valerie Columbi, and Carrie Brunel, who again assist in some of the nonsense that's out there. You got Lloyd Porter, another mothballed man who I don't know what his role is in this, and I don't even know where he lives. From what I understand, he doesn't even live in the community. But he writes things like, Karine, oh no, it hasn't. More than 10 administrators have been given notice of termination or demolition. What is he doing? Demolition. That is not true. One principal, I just told you, the one at Esperanza, his contract was not renewed with a 5-0 vote, which included, obviously, Buck and Anderson, who also believe that he does not belong at Esperanza High School. So Lloyd Porter, again, spreading lies that 10 administrators have been given notice, which is not true. You have Gail Pogue, which I just talked about. If you have children in our district, heads up, board is dumping tenured teachers and admins and superintendent. Make sure your voice is heard. Email them or call the district. Again, no teachers, 0 teachers have been fired from last year. So who knows what this woman is talking about? She's off her rocker. You got Samantha Hampton, Cadra, whatever her name is. These things are happening and people need to know. Please get informed. Beloved admin and teachers are at risk. Like what? What do you mean they're at risk? Some already have lost their jobs. No, not true. Not one teacher has lost their jobs. Unfortunately, there are a couple that should lose their jobs, but they have not. And she posted on 2 different posts. That's why I put the 2 up. You got Shani Bergen Murray, who I spoke to her husband. Her husband's actually really nice. We spoke at a school board meeting, and he said he doesn't agree with what his wife has to say, which I thought was interesting. But she says, I agree. It is very concerning to hear of POYL losing so many dedicated educators. Not one educator has been lost at PYLUSD. She's, again, off her rocker, which will negatively impact our students. If a teacher had been fired, it would have to be for a reason that it's a benefit to the student that they were fired because they were doing something they shouldn't be doing. They weren't educating properly. They weren't managing the homework or whatever it is they're supposed to be doing on a daily basis. And so you cannot say as anybody with any common sense that if the district has felt that somebody, like for instance, the teacher over at El Dorado who gave a demonstration apparently of how to use a vibrator to anally stimulate yourself to orgasm in her classroom and then told the kids where they could go and get the vibrator that she was using in class. I don't know if she was getting a kickback from the vibrator company or not, but that's a woman who deserves to be fired. And you would say, well, that makes total sense. I don't want this woman showing my son or daughter how to anally masturbate in a classroom when they should be learning how to read, write, count, and think, because essentially the grades are so low that not enough of them are at grade level. So why are you spending your time teaching our children at El Dorado High School, which Joey Davis thought was perfectly fine that she teach kids how to anally masturbate, apparently, because he was going to do nothing about it. And then you can show proof. I can show proof that nobody of great numbers, there's no purge, because we get a letter here from the school district to Isaiah Gates from the Human Resources Secretary, Adriana, and I can't read her last name, Greshold, I guess her name is, that shows you that fewer teachers have left because of of resigning or retiring than the previous years. So fewer teachers resigned, and about the same number of teachers retired, and even less than last year. So it is just the opposite of what is happening. And then we have this principals. Oh, wait a minute. Does that show that only 3 teachers had left? And I think a couple more, maybe, so there maybe a total of 5 have left, which is less than 2021 and 21-22, and about the same as 22-23. And so, no, there is not this great purge that Jim Bell, who again has no idea what's happening at the school district. He was only saying what was what he was told to say. Esther Kim is completely off her rocker. She thought that maybe bringing Jim Bell out of the retirement home and having him talk about these things was a positive thing. And in fact, what he was saying was all lies. And then what do? They attack the UCI, and they attack the man who owns the training lab, Cal, who is an amazing man. I deal with him on a couple occasions now. I really didn't realize it, but I go to a facility in Anaheim at King MMA, where they have a recovery center, which Cal and his family actually created over there. And it's an amazing facility. It's fantastic. And then, of course, he's responsible for putting together the program for USI. Well, of course, people like Patricia Hanzo and Steve Bell, and apparently people like Steven, the other guy that I talked about at the beginning, forgot his last name, Dempsey, I think his name was. You got people like Jason Kraft, Miguel Lopez, Alan Sakarin, Esther Kim, of course, Scott Sheba, and a number of others who say they're wasting money on USI, millions of dollars. Well, it's under $2 million, so it's not millions. It's like $1.2 million they've used in equipment, with the number of kids that are already using USI through the homeschooling program, the number of children, the money that's getting back from their attendance enrollment in our school district is already paying for plus for the next several years. And the program just got started. And so it is going to grow. You have other districts are coming to PYLUSD to see what USI is and how to do it. And they want to repeat what's happening because they see the benefit in having USI. But no, what they do is they went and attacked Cal and his family so badly with lies and slanderous and libel statements to this family that they considered quitting the creation of USI because they were so nasty to them and spreading lies and putting up posts in their business and bad reviews so that people would stop using it. These people are nasty. All the people that I just named are all involved in creating such an environment for Cal and his family that he and his wife had considered stopping and saying we can't do this because these people are crazy, and trying to say that he wasn't taking care of his filings for the taxes for the state of California. And we, of course, you show the proof. Here it is, the training lab from April 1st, 2016. They're active, their status of active, and everything is perfectly fine. But they wanted to get the community to believe that they were not fine and they did not file their taxes. Sometimes, as a business owner, I have found that the state of California is slow in updating the website. So if there was a delay, that was the only delay. It wasn't because of anything that Cal and his wife did or their accountant or anybody like that. They were perfectly fine. But no, these union hacks went after them and made their life so miserable that they thought about quitting. It wasn't worth it. You got Tricia Quintero and her staff, or a staff of campaign people that support her. They hate Leandra so much, they don't even realize that she's not running against Leandra. But yet they put a post up. This is how stupid they are. Mona Shaw, she puts up this post as friends in the Yorba Linda area. And again, most of where Tricia Quintero's area is in Placentia, Fullerton area. But they put friends in the Yorba Linda area. Please be informed about our school district election in November. Leandra Blades, as the current president, needs to go now. Well, how is she going to go if Tricia Quintero is elected? She's not. She's going to stay. And so she's just very confused. Their hatred goes so far that they can't even think straight, that they do really stupid stuff. Over here on the left, you got this, I believe it's from Reddit. You got a person who uses some nonsense name, Eugenie Note C, says, I need to share that Leandra Blades, Placentia Yorba Linda school board president, has a history of extreme bullying behavior in local elections. I'm normally not a spiteful person, but Leandra's disparaged my family and friends so much in past elections, I feel like this is warranted. And then you see below that, which I think is funny, is that she writes, I'm actually the one who exposed Leandra during the last election about her killing and below that it says a homeless person. So she says she's not a spiteful person, but she tries to use an incident where Leandra was working as a police officer. An armed man came after her with knives, who was also armed with 10 more knives on his body, and tried to attack Leandra Blades, and Leandra Blades had to defend herself and took appropriate action. The DA in LA County found it was appropriate, and yet you got this nimwit, whoever the Genie Note C person is, who writes this. I'm normally not a spiteful person. Well, apparently you are normally a spiteful person, because last year you wrote something trying to expose her as a killer, a murderer. You got Misty Jansen over here who writes, did you know PYLUSD is wasting taxpayer dollars and driving good teachers away? Misty Jansen has a plan to fix that. No, she's not. I'm going to go back to this other screen here 1 second. Here we go. Come back to my camera. But no, she's not. I just use we because as the community, we voted for the school board member majority that's currently in there. What's her name again? Marilyn Anderson, who came to us as a conservative and said she was going to be conservative, but she got on the board and completely went the other direction. And so we essentially got 4 trustees elected. So the community wants a school district that is educating our kids, not indoctrinating our kids. The community, because they elected 4 people, one of them they thought was with them, because they don't want men competing against girls in girls' sports. They don't want men in the girls' bathrooms. They don't want men in the girls' locker rooms. They don't want teachers teaching our kids how to masturbate with a vibrator anally or any way. They don't want any of this nonsense. And so I don't know what Misty Jansen is talking about, because none of those things are currently occurring. Enrollment is increasing for the first time in many years. And unlike any other district that surrounds us, every other district around us is losing children. Enrollment is down. In every district around us, hundreds of teachers are being fired. That is happening in these other districts, but not in Placentia Yorba Linda Unified School District. Teachers are getting raises unlike any other district around us. So the very opposite is happening. And I can show you proof of that. Well, it's not necessarily proof, but I know for a fact that what I'm going to tell you is true, because you can check it. You can ask anybody at the district, and they will tell you what I'm about to tell you. Over here on the left, you have facts. You have Leandra Blades, who returned sports back to our middle schools, which the district removed in 2009, and accomplished installing field lights at El Dorado High School after 30 years of not being able to get the lights in the field. She partnered with the Nixon Library to provide summer internships for high school students and created a civics curriculum available to districts across California. Under her guidance, PYLSU ensured all students had the opportunity to attend outdoor science camps, not just students from selected schools. Implemented a parent notification policy, ensuring parents are in the driver's seat of their students' education and immediately notified of any happenings. Helped create a diploma pathway for special education students with or first student graduating with his diploma in 2024. Opened the brand new Universal Sports Institute at Parkview, our district's first sports academy. Opened the brand new Orange County School of Computer Science, our district's first charter school. Advocates for the families of PYLSU, not the teachers union. And then on the right, you have the Misty Jansen, who just put up that post about Leandra destroying the district. And if you look at all those facts, none of that is destroying. It's only making it stronger, obviously, because enrollment is increasing. Teachers are getting raises. Teachers are being hired. Just the opposite is occurring. But Misty Jansen, instead, she supports age-inappropriate sexual and political ideology into the classrooms. We have the post to prove that. She feels it's important that children learn about their sexual identity and gender affiliation in a public school setting and from teachers that we don't even know as parents. After her loss in 2020, she went on a tweeting and video making rampage. See backside of this paper, which I didn't include here, but you might get this at one of your front doors if you're watching this and you're in Yorba Linda, accusing Leandra through lies and slander while publicly shaming another family on social media. She is hiding in the basement. She never speaks about anything. She's refusing to answer any questions publicly. These are her rules, as her campaign website says, and feels this strategy is best. As a matter of fact, she wanted to have Jim Bell actually debate Leandra because Misty refused to do it. Her platform is based on attacking Leandra's great accomplishments and tearing the district down through lies and slander, rather than highlighting her own specific plans for the district. She's refusing to meet Leandra in person for a town hall style meeting, which would allow the community the opportunity to ask both candidates about their positions. And what is her position? Union first, students last? Because that's exactly what it looks like. So I just wanted to bring you some of the things, because I know from my video, I received a lot of information, which was 90% positive. You have 10% from these lunatics that I just brought up. All their names are writing all kinds of nonsense. Because again, they claim they didn't watch the video, but I had the proof of everything that I stated there. And then of course, when that happens, they are sharing information that is not true to you. And the fact that everything is doing, the fact is that the district is doing amazing things. One of my sons, I got 6 kids. One of my sons is going to Orange County School of Computer Sciences, and I've never seen him come home from school with such a big smile on his face. He looks forward to going to school. He actually is waiting for me at the door. He wakes up, he gets ready, brushes his teeth, and he's ready to go because he loves going to OCSCS so much. and even stays after school now and participates in esports. It is a great school. Dr. Beth Fisher is doing an amazing job. He loves the teachers. We were just at church the other day, and some of his kids, his friends that are going to Tuffrey, asked him how it's going, and he couldn't be happier and said that, oh, it's great there. I love the school. So I can tell you right now that you just need to understand. I know that some of you are tired of what Bonnie Conte and Esther Kim are allowing in Yorba Linda Moms. I know that many of you are tired of PYL Buzz and what they're saying there in these private groups, and maybe even on some of the other not so private social media platforms. And we are too. But you can't not expect the candidates to respond. I have been doing shows about the community here for over 5 years. So there's some people that think that I just suddenly popped up out of nowhere. But no, I've been doing this for a very long time. This is what I do in my spare time. I saw somebody the other day, oh, this must be a full-time job for him. No, I have a full-time job, and I have 6 kids. This is something that I fit into all that, and but it's important. It's important to make sure that the information that you are getting is there's somebody telling you what the facts are. And I do my very best to make sure that I can support anything that I say. I believe I do it very effectively, but anything you want to know, feel free to private message me or send me a note, and or reach out to somebody that knows me, and they'll get us connected. All right, my friends. So I just want to give you that update. Going to be going back to work on the SEL CRT and the DEI video that I have coming up. I think you'll get a lot of good information on that one too. All right, my friends. We'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.